Hi guys, Jamie Lee Media here. I just thought I'd show you a little article that was made about me a few years back. It was made on the 29th of February 2016 and it's about a condition I have called Pyroderma gangrenosum. Pyroderma gangrenosum is an autoimmune condition that causes your body to attack your skin, and in my case has caused ulcers on my leg, on my lower right leg that go deep as bone. The ulcer goes from about 2 inches below my knee to about an inch above my ankle, and I've had it for 7 years. In that 7 years, we've been fighting for funding. There's some pictures here that might be a bit graphic for some people, but at the time of the article, I was 25 and 30 now. But yeah, originally they thought it was a spider bite and treated it as such. They thought it was like an infected bite, and it took the doctors over about 9 months-ish to refer me to a dermatologist. That just shows how active I was before all this started. A fit and active photographer has been left struggling to walk after a suspected insect bite turned out to be a painful skin condition causing rotting craters in his leg. Jamie, 25, was horrified to discover a suspected bite on his leg was in fact Pyroderma gangrenosum, which causes the tissue in his legs to die, triggering an outbreak of ulcers. So painful is the rare skin condition that some days Jamie of Wallasey Merseyside can barely walk. He spends at least an hour a day changing his blood-soaked dressings every morning. On a bad day I have to change my dressings twice as the wounds can bleed a lot, he said. I'm an amateur photographer, so I used to love visiting places I could photograph, and I loved walking, and now my mobility is seriously restricted. I struggle to walk to the end of my road, never mind anywhere else. Mentally this has caused a lot of depression. I wake up each day and have nothing but pain, then I go to bed and barely sleep because every time I move the pain wakes me up. Not only that, but seeing my leg worsen has seriously affected my confidence. Jamie's battle first began 2 years ago when a small spot appeared on his leg. He assumed it was a pimple or an insect bite, but within a couple of days it had doubled in size. After visiting his doctor, he was referred to Clatterbridge Hospital, Wirral, where a dermatologist officially diagnosed him with Pyroderma gangrenosum. That's how the wound started. That wound was just below my knee at the time, and within a matter of weeks it turned into that, which was about, I don't know, about that big, and the wounds tunneled as well. So originally I had about 5 wounds on my leg. There was 1 on my knee, there was like 3 or 4 on my lower leg, and after they did the biopsy they all kind of merged into one big gaping hole. There you can see one of the dressings after it had leaked one day. At the time I was going through this, I was my grand's sole carer because I'd lost my mum. In fact, it started before I lost my mum. My mum had been diagnosed with leukemia, and within say 6 months it passed away from it. Yeah, this is the next bit. At first I was really panicked because I thought it was like gangrene, but then the doctors explained that it could be connected to my suspected Crohn's disease because of how it affects the immune system. Now it is diagnosed Crohn's disease, but yeah, according to the NHS, Pyroderma gangrenosum usually affects young to middle-aged adults. Inflammatory bowel diseases such as Crohn's and colitis, rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, or of the blood cells, or hepatitis makes people particularly I can never say that word. It makes people more likely to have it. He's tried a number of treatments such as covering his wounds with honey dressings, being prescribed a course of steroids that I was on for 5 years, which has caused damage to my bones, but that's a whole other story. Nothing has made a difference. I've noticed that when I've been on my feet more, or when I'm run down, the wounds will grow, he said. It says under that picture of me and my little pooch Poppy, that I was a full-time carer for my gran, and said the painful condition has ruined his life. He wants to raise £10,000 for private treatment, or says his only alternative would be amputation. The problem was that the NHS wouldn't fund the biological treatment that would save my leg. I'm still fighting for it now, 7 years on, and it's yeah, we're still getting nowhere. We've seen doctors all over the country about it. We've given up on the fundraising because it didn't really get anywhere. But yeah, it says, but they seem to grow on a daily basis anyway, which makes them extremely painful. I've been fighting this condition for just over 2 years now, and between the doses of morphine and the multiple infections, I don't know which way is up. That isn't my actual wound, that's like a demonstration of how the wound started and that. He's been told that there is an anti-inflammatory drug called infliximab, one or the other anyway, which is not anti-inflammatory, it's a biological treatment, which could help. It is usually used in treatment of rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, alkalizing spondylitis, and so on. It is not prescribed for Pyroderma gangrenosum patients, so he has been unable to secure NHS funding and is now seeking help privately. We set up a GoFundMe at the time, but it didn't really get very far. Mr. Lee, who is a full-time carer for his gran, Phyllis Carter, 78, who recently broke her hip, said the only alternative was an amputation. Gran sadly passed away a few years back now, but yeah, I was her sole carer after we lost Mum. She had COPD, she'd had cancer, she'd had all sorts of different health conditions, and yeah, regardless, my only options are amputation or to just live with the condition that's ruined my life, he said. To be able to achieve the target and get the treatment I need would be more than life-changing. To say goodbye to the 4 holes in my leg, there we go, and go that go as deep as bone in some points would be incredible. And also to be able to support my gran again would be the biggest thing for me. I also massively miss my charity work as an event first aider, and being able to get back to that will give me something to enjoy again. It's got a bit here about what Pyroderma gangrenosum is, and it says Pyroderma gangrenosum is a rare condition that causes painful ulcers. It is usually treatable, but may take some time to heal and may leave some scarring. It is usually starts as a small pimple, red bump or blood blister. The skin then breaks down into a painful ulcer with a purple or blue edge, which may ooze fluid. That's basically where it gets its name from. Pyroderma gangrenosum, pyro meaning fire, derma skin, so like inflamed skin, and gangrenosum is like the dying of. The ulcer can rapidly get bigger and deeper, and several may develop in the area. If the ulcer gets infected, it can cause fever. It can also kill you if it gets infected. Obviously, having an open wound and a compromised immune system can cause massive issues, and yeah, including sepsis and stuff like that. It usually affects the legs, although it can affect any area of the skin, including around the head, neck, arms and genitals. Pyroderma gangrenosum is seen in men and women of any age, but usually affects young to middle-aged adults. People with conditions including inflammatory, we've been over that bit. The exact cause of Pyroderma gangrenosum is not understood, but it's thought to be a reaction to a disease or illness. Pyroderma gangrenosum is treatable, yeah, we've read that bit. Dressings may need to be applied regularly to soak up any discharge and retain the creams applied to the wound. Most people with Pyroderma gangrenosum will need to take steroid tablets such as prednisolone, either on their own or with antibiotics such as daprazone or minoxidil. These reduce the inflammation and help the ulcers to heal. I had 5 years of prednisolone, I think it was in total, but prednisolone comes with its own risks. It makes your immune system weak, it attacks your bones become weak, and yeah, it didn't make a difference with the wound. tried all sorts of the natural ways of trying to heal it, didn't do anything. They tried vacuum dressings, didn't make a difference. Literally all sorts. It's a horrible condition to live with. I've never thought you could look at a part of your own body and totally despise it. It's a strange feeling. Like when I'm doing the dressing changes, I'll look at my leg and I hate it. But yeah, it's not a nice condition to have. And 7 years of having it with constant pain and discomfort, yeah. But yeah, there's a little one to tell you a little bit more about me. Feel free to like, drop a comment and subscribe, which all helps me out. And yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I shall speak to you soon. Take care everyone. Bye.